They have not been in the playoffs since the 2016 playoffs. 2017 was the first year not making the playoffs in 25 years. Yes, they were not. They were in a row in the playoffs for 25 years. Well, there were some great benefits to that, but there was also some things that suffered for this team. Well, first off, trying to keep that streak alive. What does that do to your development? Well, it damages it pretty quickly, doesn't it? It makes it pretty bad. You just think of what it could do. It's just you don't have any young guys. Who is your next upcoming Red Wings? The only one they can basically come up with was Dylan Larkin. Um, Anyone else? And he only been to the playoffs once, and that was the 25th year. Anyone else? No. Because guess what? That was it. That was all they had basically at that time for young talent. Now we look at their team now, and you'll look at Larkin, you look at the guys they've drafted, Raymond and Bregman, and guys like that. They don't have that offensive guy until they just picked up this offseason. And Alex DeBrincat, they signed a $7.875 million deal. Some other guys they have drafted. Moritz Seidel is another guy, definitely interesting. Gustav Lindstrom, another guy. Some guys, Michael Rasmussen is another guy. You think in the minors what they're working on, Elmo Soderblom, he's a massive guy, tall guy. Marco Casper, he's 19, he could make the NHL next year. Nate Danielson, they just drafted and signed. William Wallendale, Simone Evenson, another fantastic defenseman. You have Sebastian Kosa, who was a great goalie, even though he struggled a little, but then he started doing really well, get his groove together. Some guys are now building a core, and they have added some guys to make this core better and to get to the playoffs sooner than later. Like DeBrincat, Andrew Kopp, David Perron. Those are some guys there. Robbie Fabry they bring in, and he starts to play really well. Daniel Sprong is an addition this year. Those are some guys that help them score. They need more goal scoring. That's what I said. What I just said here. Alex DeBrincat will bring the goal scoring. They need goal scoring. That offensive guy. Who is that? Raymond, the drafted guy, but DeBrincat has that shot also. You need that another offensive weapon to just get him over the hump and get that offensive guy. Very important to have and a good pickup there for the Detroit Red Wings. He's only 25 too, which is a great timeline for the Detroit Red Wings. Looking on defense, you got Ben Chiarot, Shane Gostisbehere, Justin Hall, Jake Wallman, Oli Mata, Gustav Lindstrom, and Moritz Seidel. Moritz Seidel is, by hands down, the best defenseman. They picked him, and everyone's kind of like, are you sure you should pick him that high? You know, all that stuff. Well, guess what? He put in his rookie season in 82 games, 50 points. 7 goals, 43 assists, 50 points. His sophomore season started slow, but definitely picked up as the season went on. In 82 games, 5 goals, 37 points with 37 assists with 42 points and minus 11. But Moritz Seidel is definitely the German beast here. He is a fantastic defenseman, and he will be the best, or he is right now, the best Detroit Red Wing you can find out there. So, those are some defensemen. Shane Gostisbehere is a puck-moving guy. Definitely found his game back here in Arizona. Got traded to the Hurricanes. That didn't work out the best, but now he's with the Red Wings for $4.125 million. We'll see how that turns out for them. Ben Chiarot, 3-year deal, $4.75. That's a little overpayment, I would say, but hey, we'll see what happens there. And you also have Jake Wallman that signed to a $3.4 million deal next 3 years. He looked really good this year, this past year, so good to see. And in goal, we have is Ville Husso, and they bring in James Reimer. That's a good pickup, James Reimer, a 35-year-old. But Ville Husso has been really good for them last year after playing with the Blues and getting taking over Jordan Bennington with the Blues, and then they couldn't sign Ville Husso because he was just too good at 4.75. So the Red Wings pick him up, they bring him in, sign him, And yeah, that's a great pickup. Great age, great cap hit. It's just everything works out, and he plays well. What a great bonus that is for sure. So we already talked about our young guys, what they have. Um, also about playoffs. I think that's something we have to talk about. Is the playoffs very important? I do think the playoffs is a realistic goal for this team. So, um, looking at what we have, the Eastern Conference is stacked. We know that it's just a stacked team, and it's just, let's just say this, it's not going to be easy. You know, you have teams that have not made the playoffs last year, that have made it before, like the Capitals, the Penguins, teams that want to jump right back into the playoffs and keep it going. You also have a team that made the playoffs last year, but not the year after. But they want to continue going back to the playoffs, and that's the Islanders. Another team out there that will be pushing for the playoffs again and again. It's just what we have. And you look at this, Eastern Conference. Who do we have in the Eastern Conference? You looking at Boston. Yeah, Buffalo. Trying to make the playoffs in like how many years? It's like the longest streak of not making the playoffs. But they are looking really good. They're another team contending for the playoffs in that Eastern Conference, along with Ottawa. Ottawa's going to try to do something. Florida's going to try to hold themselves in there again after making the finals. You got the Islanders, like I said, the Blue Jackets that try to get better on defense, offensively get a better yield. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but they will be contending for that playoff spot. The Capitals, the Penguins. So you have guys, you can't let off the gas here. You just can't. It's just the team needs to score, and that's why they brought in DeBrincat, that offensive goal scorer. You need that. The defense is going to be good. You got to be consistent the whole year to make the playoffs. You used to be able to make the playoffs with a 500 record. Well, that's not the case anymore. Not even a 500 record. You need more than a 500 record. You need 600, 700 to make a good shot at the playoffs. So, there is some toughness here to make it. Like I said, Buffalo's going to try to do it. Ottawa are two teams that are right in the same spot where the Red Wings are trying to make it. Can we make it? So we'll see what happens for sure. I do think it's going to be close. I'm going to say they will make the playoffs. I think it's so important they do. They have Dale Lerone going into his second year as head coach of the Detroit Red Wings. So thanks for watching. See you next video. Bye.